Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's South Shore Post. How you all doing? And I'm joined by a very special guest today, co-founder of Sport Endorse. It's Trevor Tramley. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, Sal. Trevor here. Thanks a million for having me
You're
on
very,
this
very welcome. You're very
Saturday
welcome.
evening. We're working hard on Saturday evening.
Saturday evening, live from London. Where are you live? Where you from?
I'm in Dublin, Dublin City in Ireland.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Oh, yeah, lovely, lovely part of the world. I haven't had the privilege of visiting yet. Tell me more about the place. You know, what if I went to Derry? What was it, Kerry or is it
Well,
Derry?
I live in Dublin, but I'm from Kerry, so
Yeah.
you can, if you want to see a beautiful part of Ireland, you go to Kerry. If you want some city life, you want to go to some live sport, you come to Dublin. Want some nightlife, you come to Dublin. You have nightlife in Kerry too, by the way. But certainly plenty to see and do when the lockdown isn't around. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. I definitely make it an effort to come to go to Ireland. Never had the privilege of visiting Ireland yet. Heard amazing things about it. You know, the party life. Obviously, you love a drink, like myself. You know, I think we all need one at the moment. I think we all need a good little holiday and a good knees up. To be honest with you, at the
No,
moment.
nothing wrong with a pint of Guinness, Sal, watching a football game or a rugby game or some golf. It's that's just it's part of our culture.
Or a bit of
But
Gaelic football.
yeah, Gaelic football, soccer. I mean, our Gaelic football, our GA stars, their profiles are growing so much. I mean, it's still an amateur sport here. They don't get paid. And then when Croke Park is that in a final, in a hurling or a football final, there's 83,000 people at it, and the players don't get paid, and they
They
put
don't
everything
get
on the
paid.
line. No,
Where does all the
so
profit go from the actual stadium?
well, it goes back into the clubs, and there's a lot of counties and clubs playing it. So it does feed back into the clubs, and it's a voluntary organisation. There's thousands of people running it up and down the country. So it hasn't been touched by the professionalism yet. But what you have is you've got GA players with high profile, the likes of Dean Rock, Kieran Donaghy, Damien Comer, Shane Walsh, Aaron Gallan. These guys who have won medals, have won All Ireland medals, All Ireland titles, no different to a Premier League title in the UK, and their profiles are high, and they're trying to monetize what they're worth, and trying to capitalize while they can, be it in their elite career or when they finish, or their post career. What do they do? There's all it's no different to a professional game or professional rugby player or soccer player. Their identity is taken for them. So what's the next step for them when they finish their career? They're no longer the football player that they knew, or the rugby player that everyone knew. They're just the person that they were before they played rugby, even though so there's a whole series. And we in Sport Endorse, we take the athletes from from their when they start out to elite, post career, when they're starting out, and there's a 16-year-old soccer player and he wants to go to a club in Europe or go to the UK. What about your education? You could be back home in a year. Not everybody makes it, so you have to look after them and make sure. And we found that actually, parents are coming to us and they're saying, what can we do? What can you do for my kid? He's signed with an agent, and he hasn't got a trial yet, and he's 17 now. And what's it all about? So we surround ourselves with good people, Sal. We have a good football team, a good. There's myself, Connor, Manav, Miriam, Keith, Declan, and we surround ourselves with good people, and even our people in our football team. We've got people who played professionally, who've done it, who've been to England at 15, did their own contract at 16, and came back and we have some success stories, and obviously you hear some failed stories as well. But certainly, look, back to GAA, it's our national sport. And it is, if you've ever been to a game of hurling, it's the best game in the world to watch. And an All Ireland final is amazing as well. Yeah.
Oh, definitely would love to. It's on a bucket list. Definitely, I'll definitely be wanting to go. The atmosphere seems incredible. Absolutely incredible.
We'll get you over, and you can even wear your Man United jersey, man. We'll get you into the hug and stand, no problem. Yeah.
Well, I'll be welcome with my Man United jersey. Obviously, we have a lot
Plenty,
of Irish
plenty,
jerseys.
plenty of United fans here too. You're all right.
Yeah, Roy Keane's a legend, man. He's one of my favourite players of all time. So,
Yeah.
there you go. Tell me more about Sport Endorse. How did it start? What are your values, and how important is it for yourself and the client in regards to the middleman, so to speak, in regards to getting your client the best there is?
Look, we build on, like, Declan and I were both in our 40s. Like, we a lot of business behind us in terms of successful businesses, be it in broadcasting or finance, sports broadcasting and finance. So we have our policy integrity is vital, transparency is vital to us, and we expect that of the athletes, we expect that of the brands, and in return we give them the same. So that's very important to everyone we represent. And we live by that, and we have and I don't know if it's okay to say it live, like, we have a no assholes policy. It's you come in, you join us, you're honest, and we'll do the same. We'll respect you the same. So we started out with I was in broadcasting, and my company was sold, and Declan and I had talked about setting up a sports representation business for quite a while. And funny, like, we talked about the Guinness in Dublin. I was in a bar in Leeson Street, and a friend of mine came in, an accountant, and he said he had a boxer in his office today, and I just grabbed him by the tie like that, and I said, "Get me in front of him, will you?" So that's kind of how it rolled. And next thing, I was in Stephen's Green in an office meeting this boxer whose first fight was in Madison Square Garden, maybe 4 or 5 months later. And the following week, then we did a presentation deck to see how to match the brand profile with what brands we could go after for him, and the demographics we think we could target for him, and that was it. And then you roll on a few months later, we're sellout crowd in Madison Square Garden with all our commercials on 20-foot screens around the garden, and Michael Buffer's calling out our sponsors' names, and I said, like, this is so cool.
Wow.
we might just stick at this. It was tough graft. It was hard graft. We made a small few quid that day. And we came back, and look, I suppose there was so much learning in that cell in terms of the amount of graft we put into the calls, pitches, getting it right. I mean, boxing is sometimes a difficult sell. Not every brand wants to be associated with boxing. Some brands like football, some like rugby, some like boxing. But it's finding that right match, that right fit. Yes, we came home, and then we Jason Quigley came on board. We represent Jason still to this day. We're still with Jason. He's due to be fighting now. He was due to be fighting in February in Russia. He was the co-main event. The main event, the Russian boxer got COVID. It was called off. He was supposed to come out in March, now April. Now we're hoping to get out in May in Fantasy Springs in California. So Jason's a great guy, and you're hoping to interview him, right? So if you want,
very soon,
if you want Sal, you can call him out now, right? You can, like those boxers, call him out. You can say, Jason Quigley, I want you in my next interview.
Yeah,
if you
Jason,
want to do that now, you can.
Get on the show. Get on the show, right? This is the place to be. This is the place to be. It's a new Parkinson, right?
Good stuff. I love it. it. Yeah.
Obviously, working with someone like Jason Quigley is with Golden Boy Promotions, obviously, and Oscar De La Hoya comes to mind. How have you find that? It's very overwhelming working with such prestigious people on your company, Sport Endorse. How have you found working with someone who has worked with so many legends of the game, such as Oscar De La Hoya?
Look, Jason is so down to earth. Boxers are generally so down to earth, and they work so hard for what they get, right? I mean, we drove to Ballybuffet, where Jason is from. We drove up there, and we spent an evening with him, had dinner with him initially. He was thinking, who are these guys? But you have to build rapport with the athlete, have a relationship, and then there's a fit, and you respect each other. He is so easy to deal with. He has no airs and graces. A boxer, no different to me. I'm only as good as my last sale or my last deal. A boxer's only as good as his last fight, right? So there's a lot in common. And we just, I mean, with Jason, he's a superstar, 18-1. He's going all the way, I'm sure of it. And he's great to deal with. He's so good. And in terms of brands that he works with, the sponsors that we get from him, he turns up on time. He smiles. He gets on with the job. He's so professional, and and that's the kind of talent you want on your books, right? Or in your stable. You want someone who's going to show the brand that they care and that they're authentic. And that's what brands want. They want authentic athletes. They want them to be themselves, not to be someone else. tell your story, tell your own journey. How did you get from where you were then to where you are now? I was up with Andy Lee and Jason Quigley. They were training up on Harcourt Street, maybe at the start. It wasn't that long ago, anyway, maybe 5 months ago. The energy, the training, the sweat. You think they were going out that weekend. I was like, oh my god. So I like it's amazing. It's humbling, right, to watch them train.
Yeah,
How hard they train.
The fitness level. I went to a training session in London where Anthony Joshua and athletes such as that train. Oh my goodness me! You have to literally sign a contract saying that you can literally pass away in this training session because it's so intense. They're relentless. They don't let you breathe for a second. I have nothing but admiration for boxers.
The bell goes off, right? Ding, ding, ding. And then they do sparring. Ding, ding, ding. Off again. They're doing weight. Ding, ding, ding in the ring.
Non-stop.
Ding, ding, ding. They're off. And you're like, I'm getting tired looking at them.
Exactly. And you can imagine, like, your company such as yourself, growing the trust between the client and the company is very important, obviously, because that, as you mentioned before, transparency is essential. So they know that you're not just there to, you're there for them. As the athlete, they're the talent, and you're there for them. And how do you feel? What makes a great manager, a great agent, or a great endorsement company, in your opinion?
Listen, you have to have empathy with the athlete. They're going through a hard time. If you're an Olympian and you're trying to get your finances, you're an amateur, it's so hard for them, right? And they've got to pay everything themselves. They're getting a small grant from the Sport Ireland or Sport England, whatever it is. So you need to have empathy with that. You need to do the best for them. You got to help them with their PR, help them with their profile. I think honesty is very important, and and just going all out, working your hardest for them, and being straight up. I think that's what it's all about. It's about mutual respect, and I think the good agents will keep in touch with them. Will always be looking for an angle with different brands to kind of get them support. At the higher level, you get, we had a situation there recently where Under Armour booked 6 of our athletes for a campaign, and our platform, which we can talk about in a minute, has been kind of a leveler for all this kind of stuff, because it's the athletes who engage. Yes, they picked the athlete with 60,000 followers or 100,000 followers, but actually one of the athletes they picked was a female athlete here, a runner, and she had 2,500 followers. But because she, through the platform, told them how well she respected their brand, what she wanted to do in terms of engagement and activity. She showed them how much she cared. She got the job, right? So it's about being, I suppose, the difference from some agents to other agents. And look, all agents mean well at the start, but it's about kind of trying to do the best you can for that athlete all the time. And I would say to even young footballers who are not getting a trial out there, pick up the phone to Sport Endorse. If you haven't heard from your agent in 4 weeks, pick up the phone to us. We've plenty of opportunities out there for clubs in the UK, Europe, America, you name it, right? So it's important that you have good communication with all your talent and with all the brands that you represent as well. Because remember, there might be, I think there's 772 athletes on our platform, Sal. There's 112 companies that have registered as well. So you have to be as honest to the company as you are to the talent, and that's kind of how we work. Yeah.
I've seen over 500 clients you have at the moment. That's incredible. That's incredible growth. Where did it start for you? When did you decide to create this company? Because it's such a rapid growth. I mean, obviously you told me about Sport Endorse. I had to look on the website. It's incredible the clients you have. It shows a lot of trust in yourself as well, with the clients, such clients you have. You have athletes, Olympic athletes as well.
Yeah, there's
How
over
did it all
40.
start for you? When did you decide to create an endorsement company?
Look, we have a traditional business, which is the contracts business. We are rugby agents and football agents. Football is in its infancy, but it's growing. It's growing as fast as our endorsement business, right? But the platform, the Sport Endorse platform, which is available in 120 countries in app format. Athletes can go in there, set up their profile. We had a French freestyler, Gauthier Foyal, sign up to it the weekend. He was a 7-time world champion freestyler, so he's available on there now. He can go in there and apply for opportunities on the platform. So we did the platform to look after endorsements. 95% of athletes don't get a look in, don't get boot deals, don't get an endorsed, don't get a nutritional drink, don't get the clothing brand, right? So it's only the top 5%, the Tom Brady's and the Bruno Fernandes and these guys. They're the ones who get it. This platform is catering for the 95% of athletes who don't. So that's one business. That's it's a part of our business, the platform, and then the traditional business is the one we're growing, the football space, and that's look, we knew that they were underserved, right? Athletes were underserved. We spotted that straight away. They were coming to us quite fast. In 3 months, we had 50 athletes, and we were trying to go, how are we going to do this? And we could tell we were going to scale quite fast. So that's part of the reason we spent and we invested in the platform was, how can we look after these people, honestly? And yes, as of yesterday, we were on a webinar with a PR company in town, and Declan said we'd 772 athletes on the platform, be it elite, post-career, so, and then there's companies signing up all the time too. So look, the platform is enabler. It's there to help athletes, and it's agency enabled too. So agents can put their athletes up there, and the platform can share the commission on deals and stuff like that. So yes, obviously we've hit something where athletes are not getting the right amount of love in terms of the endorsement space. So we've worked hard at it, Sal. We've 5 years now, coming into our 5th year this November, at building our contact list, our network, our talent base, our connections with the brands. Like, at a call on Friday evening, that was one of my 7 Zoom calls on Friday with a French agent that represents Benzema, and I was like, how can we get to know each other a bit better, right? Like, he came from the same background. He came from media. He worked as a marketeer in TV. I worked as an advertising man in TV. I was commercial director of Satanta Sports. So we came from a similar background. But I can help. I might be able to put him in touch with an energy drink. In return, he might have athletes that he can put on the platform. So it's really about building your network, Sal. It's very important that you spread it out. Like, we didn't build this platform for Ireland. Yes, we can use it, and there's athletes can benefit from it in Ireland. But we want to scale it in other countries and hopefully help athletes and brands connect. Because if you're number 12 and you're not playing for Man United, and you're number 15, you're not getting your game. How does brands probably don't even know you're available to do a sponsorship deal? Who do they reach out to? What's the format around it? This platform should help connect the dots, or connect athletes with brands. Yeah.
So tell me more about your clients you have. I mean, you have some prestigious clients already. Obviously, you're talking to the representatives of Benzema, a legend like Benzema, who's still playing for Real Madrid, scored tonight as well.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the clients you have on your roster at the moment, and where do you see Sport Endorse going in the future? Do you see it branching out? Obviously, you said you wanted to go worldwide, not just in Ireland. You wanted to go worldwide. Do you see yourself branching out to, let's say, musicians or film actors in the future, obviously, who are looking for endorsement deals, etc.?
Do you know what? We built this platform, Sal, and after about 3 weeks, we went to version 1 at Christmas. I got a call from a music promoter saying, could you make one for music for me? And then I got a call, could you do one for actors, right? So yes, it's possible. I mean, we want to get the sports right. I mean, that's the game we've been in for 5 years. We've worked hard. I've been in for 20 years. Yes, I think we can skin it for music and actors. It's quite easy. The thing is built. It's constantly being developed. Our team in the Ukraine are now working on version 2, or what the next. We've got our fixes and stuff that we need to do now. But where do I see us going? Like, I just love the way we're scaling so fast. We're going through an investment round as well at the moment, because obviously, if you've got all those athletes and all those brands and you want to bring it to a country like the UK or the USA, you need investment. So we're doing that at the moment. And who knows? I think it's going to scale fast in different territories. Well, I hope it's going to scale fast in different territories. You're going to hear and see a lot more about us. We're going to have marketing campaigns, and and I think our football business is really interesting. I mean, we have parents coming to us in Ireland with their kids saying, can you help us? And one of our advisors, his son is playing in under 20s for France, and his kid is playing at a French club, and Man City were after him. But the integrity of what we're doing in football is we want the kid who's 15 to get an education with the club so that he's something to fall back on. So we want to do it properly. We want to do it right. And actually, so football, I think long term, and our platform long term has a real longevity to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really exciting, and your website is very easy to use. I mean, you can easily, get in contact with your talent, and it's a really.
Did you log in? Did you register?
I logged in. I joined. I subscribed. Everything. Yeah.
Oh man,
it's fascinating, and it's so easy for the client to use.
So what talent did you see that you could ask me about? Because I
James Lowe, can run rugby union, for example.
Yes. So James a great guy. Yeah.
Legend.
New Zealand, unbelievable. So yeah, so you'll find James on there. You'll find Scott Fardy on there. So James is with CSM in London, and we have a relationship with CSM where we kind of work for him here because they don't have someone here all the time. So we look after some of James' endorsements basically. So yeah. So
Kate Doherty as well, 100-meter hurdles. I mean, these are people I've seen on TV a number of times. So.
Yeah,
it says a lot about your company, as an up and coming. Obviously, you're a new company, and you've already, cooped some great talents in there. It's incredible to see. What were your passions growing up, individually, personally, as yourself? What was your favorite sport? Did you have a favorite football team?
Yeah.
Who was your favorite player?
You, as a United fan, you mightn't like this. I grew up in a house. There's 6 kids, 4 brothers, 2 girls. There'll be two Arsenal fans, two Leeds United fans. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm a Gooner. And but we were football mad. Like I played soccer to a decent enough level, Leinster Senior League up here, and loved basketball as well. But I was a jack of all trades, like a judo. I did loads of sports, right? But people who play station won't remember Subutio, right? So we had the pitch perfect. We pitch perfect. So Arsenal's my team, and do you remember David Rocastle?
Yes,
Rocky?
Indeed, of course.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite soccer players to watch, and I suppose emulate on the pitch or try to. So any of those, like I remember, I'm going back. I'm probably a bit older than you, Sal, but like Perry Groves, Terry Woodcock, Alan Smith. When
I remember all those.
Michael Thomas. Remember Michael Thomas got the goal against Liverpool in the 89th minute. Yeah, so I would have been So they were my, I suppose, soccer, football would have been my main. We were a football house, and my brother Ken and my brother Stuart are serious Leeds fans. My brother Robert, who's in Sweden, he's an Arsenal fan. So we need to pick it up in the Premier League, but we'll be back.
Obviously, you got no Man United fans in your family.
My dad is a Man United fan. Yeah.
Okay.
But
fantastic.
So I don't know where the loyalty lies actually. I think as a kid I probably liked the cannon and the logo or something. I don't know. It was but from I remember Liam Brady. I have the old jerseys. I have a load of jerseys, Arsenal jerseys with DreamWorks on them and the JVC, the yellow. I still have them here. Passionate football fan, passionate sports fan, Sal, in general, getting up early to watch the 86 World Cup. I was there, watched Maradona live, right? I like as a kid, amazing, right?
Oh my goodness, that was the first World Cup I actually watched when I was a child. It was the 86 World Cup. Obviously Maradona, went on to win the World Cup, of course. Arsenal, in regards to Arsenal, David Rocastle, I mean, Alan Smith, 1-0 to the Arsenal and all of that, in regards to Man United, it's not looking too great. It's all right, but it's not as great as it used to be. Of course, there's a lot of friction between the Man United fans and stuff, what's going on. because we had so much success, prolonged success over a period of time, you know, and it's
They're
crazy.
expected to win, right?
Just expected to win. It's also the fans are very passionate. We got different sectors in our fan base, and different beliefs where the club should be going. We got Ollie in, we got Ollie out, we got individual player, groups, which is crazy. It's mad at the moment being a Man United fan. You know, it's just. But I guess it's all highlighted online. Everything is all highlighted online. You see these different sectors within the Man United fan base, you know, and success can't last forever, you know.
No, but they're in the limelight, right? Like I even like watching them play. I watched them during the week. One eye on trying to mind the kids, and one eye watching AC Milan. Or like I really enjoy watching them play. Certainly recently, and they're such a huge club, right?
Yeah, they're massive. Yeah,
huge
they're
club,
an elite club, isn't it? They're an elite club. You got AC Milan and Man United, which should be the biggest game of the week, to be honest with you. Like you got AC Milan and Man United playing in Europa League, but you know, adversity to the stars. That's what I always say, and we'll get back to where the cream always rises to the top. You know, so
correct.
Hopefully, we'll see AC Milan and Man United. And Sports Endorse. You know. Come in with a few more clients from Man United. You know, it'd be great to see.
Well, look, there's a great opportunity now for Irish kids, young Irish kids, to go to the UK. The FIFA ranking system that's brought out doesn't apply to Irish kids because of the common travel agreement that was signed in 1932 and re-signed in 2019. So Irish kids will be in demand, but they will have to be good enough, right? They'll have to be good enough to go to these clubs. But I see a real opportunity for UK clubs to get these kids and nurture them into top class footballers. And we've got some good footballers here in Ireland, and we have a couple of Irish kids, and we're very selective who we pick because we want the right attitude. They have to have the right attitude, the right work ethic, and so yes, we would, and we're already looking at. We already have a couple of them trials in the UK, and we've our hand in some footballers in Senegal as well, right? So we're not. And yes, if Man United want to look at any of these kids, they're more than welcome to give Trevor and Sport Endorse a call if there's anyone watching your show.
Of course, and Man United have a rich history of Irish talent. Of course, whether it's Northern Ireland or Republic of Ireland, we have a rich talent. Obviously, our legends come from there. You've got Dennis Irwin, Roy Keane, George Best. So
Frank Stapleton,
Stapleton, exactly. And
Kevin Moran, right?
Kevin Moran, Phil Moran.
Yeah.
So
Norman Whiteside, wasn't Norman Whiteside at Man United?
Norman Whiteside was at Man United. He's the one who
was he the youngest man? Was the youngest guy ever to score a goal in the World Cup?
Yeah, I believe so. But he also scored in an FA Cup final, didn't he? Wasn't it against Arsenal?
Right. Yeah. we're going back now. Yeah. Norman actually, I think, is on the platform too. Yeah.
You don't know where you're going till you know where you've been. So
correct.
At the moment, I find myself talking a lot about history. So
really,
Manchester United. So tell me more about Sport Endorse. What do we as supporters got to look forward to? What we got to look forward to in the coming months, in the coming years, etc.
Look, the football business we're building, Sal, you're going to see some exciting players coming into the UK from our state. We started about 6 months ago. We've 17 footballers that we've a kind of a handle in, but we really kind of want to concentrate on, from 15 to 17. Like you can broker some deals and you get mandated and all that, but the reality is you want to nurture the kid from a young age and get them the right job and build your stable from the youth up and build the trust with the parents, with the kids, and get them the right job. I had a situation with a coach from Ajax at the weekend. We have a kid in Juventus at the moment, and we chatted, and his agency wanted him to go to a big club in the UK, and my friend at Ajax said, look, he should go back to where he is in Europe and play with his own club for 2 years. So many kids leave their town, their local town, and they come back two years later. So it's important that you do what's right by the player. I think it's morally right to do what's right by the player. and by the parents. Instead of, it's okay to ship them into a club, but they're going to be in a factory. You're going to be one of 200 kids at Chelsea, and you could be back home before you know it. So there's plenty of opportunities outside of UK with young footballers. So you're going to see a lot more about us with our platform. It's going to grow really fast and really big. You know, we've plans to have 20,000 athletes and 5,000 companies on it in a couple of years. So, you know, and we're going to keep growing. We want to keep scaling, maybe different languages, different markets. We might go into music, might go into acting. You never know. And then our football business, I think, has real legs. I've got some really good people who's kind of helping us and mentoring us here, all ex-pros, and people who've managed clubs as well. So who have the same kind of mindset as us about looking after the young kids and looking after the footballers for long term. You know, look after their nutrition, look after their education, post career, do all that kind of stuff. Look after everything from when they start to when they finish. So you're going to hear more about us. We've in the UK, we've a big plan to go into the UK in the next 12 months. So I'll be coming to London, meeting you for a coffee and saying, do you know this kid? He's going for a trial at Arsenal. And then we're going to send him up to Man United for a trial straight after that.
Oh, fantastic! You got great. You're England internationals right now following you on Twitter. Tyrone Mings follows you. Want people like that, legends such as that. So, you know, the word is spreading, so to speak. You know, I wanted to talk about young players moving over to Juventus and stuff. It's a daunting thing, really. A young kid going to Juventus or going to Ajax or going to PSG, you know, at such a young age. What are your experience with this?
Look, sorry, Sal, sorry for cutting you off there. It's great for them, right? If you get a trial at Juve, there's going to be clubs in England going, he must have something. Yeah. All right. So, and it's the same. If I send a player to a club in the UK, a Premier League club, I have to send them a good player because our reputation is on the line.
Of course.
So, you know, so you don't want to be giving them a player that doesn't have the hard work, that doesn't have the, you know, the determination to be the best, to play with their senior team down the road. But likewise, they have to be the right club for that player, and the club needs to have their best interests at heart, you know. So, yeah, look, as I said, the football business is in its infancy, but it's scaling a bit like our endorsement business. It's I think someone said that. You know, I think football found us during COVID, you know. It's just one of those things. We started out with an Irish international, John Egan. He was one of his father was a famous Kerry footballer, John Egan, corner forward, one of the all-time greatest footballers. And John is from Cork, but he's half Kerry. We're claiming him, yeah. And he plays, he's at Sheffield United, he's an Irish international. So we started by getting him an endorsement deal. And yeah, and you know, even John is very good for counsel too and stuff. If we want to learn a bit or know a bit more about football in the UK or in professional football in general, he's such a cool guy. So yeah, look, we're learning all the time. We're learning that, you know, that it's important to, you know, to be true to the footballers. There's a lot of agents out there that that's hoover them up and don't get them and you don't hear from the agent anymore. So we don't want to be that agency. We don't want to be that agency that does that. So there's if any footballers or any brands or any companies want to learn more about us, Sal, go on to Sport Endorse. Our platform is live. You're going to see that platform develop for clubs to put up their opportunities for front of jersey as well. If there's 112 companies or brands on there now, in the next version in about 6 weeks, you're going to see football clubs putting up their opportunities, rugby clubs. You talk about that kind of word of mouth thing and Tyrone on the platform and stuff. I got a call one day from a rugby player from Pretoria in South Africa, and he says, "Hello, I got your name of a famous rugby player." He says, "You know, he said to give you a call. You're doing great things in Europe." And I said, "All right." So, and he's a great guy, right? So I said, "Okay, that's fine. But you have to tell me who it is, right?" And the third phone call in, and he said, "Yeah, Faf the clerk had heard about you guys in England, and he said to give you a call." So fantastic. I don't know Faf the clerk. I mean, but I'm delighted he gave us a good word. But I suppose if you do stuff right, Sal, and you try and do things or do your best for people, it comes back, And a lot of the stuff we've done so far is by hard work and organically growing it ourselves, and from word of mouth, and for talking to people like you who are kind enough to let us on their shows,
Definitely, I'll definitely be spreading the word. It seems like your company are very honest. You come across as wanting to help someone rather than, self-gain. Like some agents out there, not naming any names, but your company seemed very, the future in regards, especially you're online. You're very easy to use. You've got, athletes can join your company through the website as well. It's fantastic, and I see it only growing, and I'm proud to have you on, because I can only
Thanks,
see you. I can only see
nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And if you ever, we'll definitely get Jason on your show. Now that you've called him out, we'll have to get him on your show.
I'm going to call out a few more soon.
Yeah, you could email me, yeah.
I'll email you. I'll call them a few. I'll call a few. Your company's growing and growing, ever growing. So
Roy Keane isn't on the platform yet, but I'm sure we can get a hold of him.
Yeah, he's not on the platform yet. It'd be fantastic to get him on. Yeah, a legend. Man United players are very hard to get hold of now because they all got deals with Sky and whatnot. Setanta Sports you worked for as well. I mean, that must have been huge because I remember they had all the boxing contracts as well, didn't they?
It was great. It was live. Like we set up the commercial department when I started there. I was there 15 years, So it was the first dedicated sports channel in Ireland. The first Irish sports channel. So, it was great. I mean, you were dealing with. I remember watching the promos for the Premier League, and I just loved my job, And all the people there, it was like a family business where we all worked hard, played hard sometimes too. But we really enjoyed what we did. And you could be selling a Man United game at 3 p.m. on a Saturday, and then on the following Thursday you were doing Cheltenham. It never stopped, but it was really enjoyable. But like everything in life, Sal, it runs its course, and you move on to the next thing. But I really enjoyed my time there, and the CEO at the time, had a couple of CEOs, but one of the owners, he kind of just as long as stuff was coming in and the job was being done, he left you to it. So it was really like working for yourself. But really, really, really great time, really great memories, and got to sell all different types of sports. Cricket in India, Champions League on Tuesday and Wednesday nights. It didn't really matter. You were always on the go. And we had a great team in the commercial department, and the presenters were great too. And everyone worked together to kind of for the end goal, which is get the content out on a Saturday or Sunday.
There you go. And it was a fantastic channel. I had the channel myself. So, yeah, I absolutely loved it. So, Trevor, thank you for joining me today. It's very enlightening, very inspiring, what you've been talking about. It gives you inspiration to move forward and my channel to progress and, what you've achieved in your career. And I hope in Sport Endorse, progress and become one of, bigger than they are now, because it sounds really, really exciting. So thank you for joining me today.
Really appreciate it.
I really enjoy speaking to you. Take care, and hopefully I'll join you soon again. We can have a little update and we'll speak and about.
We get Jason on. We get Jason on.
We get all three of us on.
That'd be cool. That'd be a good chat.
Definitely, we'll have a little chat. It'd be fantastic. Thank you so much, Trevor.
We might get to go to a fight sometime. Maybe a world title fight in London.
That'd be fantastic.
You'll never know.
Madison Square Garden. That's a dream of mine. Madison Square Garden and Las Vegas. Vegas fight at Madison Square Garden. That would be amazing.
Listen, really thanks. We can share this podcast to our fan base here in Ireland as well. Spread the word about at Stratford Post, and I'll be telling all the athletes you're a good guy. And thanks for the interview, Sal. I really appreciate it. And thanks for taking your time out.
Thank you for joining me. Evening. Thanks, sir. Have the best. Have a lovely weekend. The rest of the weekend. Thank you.
Okay, guy. Take care, man.
Cheers,
see you.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.